Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a seriously dramatic, high-stakes collision from about 500 years ago in Navadvipa. We are going to witness this epic clash between just unshakable purity on one side and the absolute darkest corruption imaginable on the other. We're going to see exactly what happens when divine love is pushed to its absolute limits. So, let's dive right into the ultimate boundaries of forgiveness.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right off the bat, we really need to understand the immense stakes of this spiritual rescue mission. Haridas makes this radical theological declaration here. Basically, if the absolute worst of society, literally the greatest of sinners, can be fundamentally transformed, well, the glory of that mission is going to echo across the entire universe. They aren't going after the easy converts here, folks. They are walking straight into the mouth of darkness.
To really get this collision, we first need to anchor our main protagonist, Lord Nityananda. He isn't just some traveling monk, right? According to the texts, he is the direct incarnation of Lord Balarama in our current age, the very same eternal Lord Ananta who rests in the causal ocean. Keep that profound, infinite nature in the back of your mind as we introduce exactly who he's about to confront.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer, shocking scale of who he's going up against. Our antagonists, Jagai and Madhai, were actually born to respected families, but they completely devolved into what historical accounts literally describe as demons. We are not talking about petty theft here. From looting and burning homes to unspeakable atrocities and daily murders, there was absolutely no sin they hadn't committed. The entire town of Navadvipa was just paralyzed by them.
The social and spiritual terror these two inflicted, you literally cannot overstate it. The townspeople would rather hide locked inside their homes than risk even crossing their path. Think about this. If even the shadow of these two brothers touched someone, that person considered themselves spiritually contaminated. They'd immediately run off to take a purifying bath in the Ganges. They were basically a walking plague.
So, against that backdrop of absolute terror, Nityananda and Haridas embark on what everyone else in the town considers a completely suicidal mission. I mean, they walk right up to these dangerous, volatile men with this unbelievably simple, gentle message. Chant Krishna's name, sing Krishna's glories, and always be engaged in Krishna's worship. Just imagine the tension. You have the most violent men in the city being approached by defenseless ascetics carrying nothing but a plea for divine love.
And while, unsurprisingly, it does not go well. Jagai and Madhai violently reject the message and immediately turn on Nityananda and Haridas. They literally chase them through the streets with pure lethal intent. It's this terrifying escape, and the preachers later report back that simply surviving the encounter was considered a massive stroke of luck.
Now this brilliantly illustrates the deeper theological purpose of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now we know he is Lord Sri Krishna himself, but with a really crucial difference. Desiring to taste the exact same ecstatic joy as his ultimate devotee, Srimati Radharani, Krishna appeared as Chaitanya, radiating her golden complexion. It's a really profound shift in divine perspective.
Because of this golden form brings a completely different mission for this specific age. When Chaitanya hears about the attack, his first instinct is actually to tear the brothers to pieces. But Nityananda reminds him of a crucial shift. In past incarnations, sure, the Lord came to kill demons, but in Kali Yuga, the mission is entirely about liberating them with love and devotion. The weapon is no longer physical force, it's the holy name.
Knowing this mission of pure love, Nityananda does something that is just breathtaking. He returns to Jagai and Madhai, the very men who just tried to murder him, and he goes alone. Introducing himself as an avadut, which is a mystic who operates totally beyond worldly norms, he steps right back into the path of lethal danger. He isn't bringing an army. He's bringing unwavering, fearless compassion, begging them once again to just chant one name of Krishna with a true heart to destroy their sins.
Which brings us to the absolute climax. Madhai, enraged by the persistent preaching, violently strikes Nityananda. But instead of striking back or, running away, Nityananda looks at his attacker and delivers this unimaginable statement of empathy. He tells him that the spiritual pain of Madhai's disconnected soul causes him far more agony than the physical blow he just took. It is a staggering display of grace under fire.
But the universe does not take this assault lightly. Hearing that his beloved devotee Nityananda has been hurt, Lord Chaitanya arrives on the scene, and that boundless love we talked about, it's instantly replaced by terrifying divine wrath. He summons the deadly chakra, the ultimate divine weapon, with the absolute intention to punish and completely destroy these two brothers for what they've done. The tension here is palpable. The brothers are literally seconds away from total annihilation.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because the narrative shifts in a matter of heartbeats. As Madhai actually moves in for a second attack, it's his brother, Jagai, who throws himself in the way to physically stop him. Nityananda seizes on this split-second act of protection and desperately pleads with Chaitanya for mercy. Hearing Nityananda's words, Chaitanya's terrifying wrath just shatters. He drops the weapon, embraces Jagai, and forgives him.
The transformation for Jagai is instantaneous. Just because he protected a devotee, he attains pure devotion in a single breath. And to confirm this spectacular shift, Lord Chaitanya grants him a divine vision, revealing his majestic four-armed form as Lord Vishnu, holding the conch, discus, mace, and lotus. It's the ultimate visual proof that this violent criminal has been entirely purified.
Now put yourself in Madhai's shoes for a second. The texts note these brothers were basically like one soul and two bodies. So watching his lifelong partner in crime experience this sudden, blinding grace completely melts Madhai's demonic art. All of that aggression vanishes. He falls down, begs Lord Chaitanya, pleading to surrender completely, and desperately asks for the exact same grace. So, the crucial point is what happens next. Lord Chaitanya flatly refuses. He tells Madhai he is not worthy of mercy. And even when Madhai argues, that demons in the past who shot arrows at the Lord were forgiven, Chaitanya establishes a strict, foundational theological rule right here. He states that because Madhai physically hurt his devotee, Nityananda Prabhu, the offense is unforgivable by him. He declares that his devotee's body is dearer to him than his own. An offense against a devotee is far worse than an offense against the Lord himself.
This leads to the emotional resolution of our explainer. Chaitanya lays down the law. Madhai has only one possible hope for salvation. He has to take refuge at the feet of the very man he just assaulted. So Madhai throws himself at Nityananda's feet, begging for forgiveness for his crime. And Nityananda, embodying that infinite compassion we've tracked from the very beginning, unconditionally forgives and embraces his attacker. After this, both brothers are commanded to abandon their sins, and they're joyfully brought into the Sankirtana, the congregational chanting.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to chew on. We've just watched the absolute worst of society transformed, not by weapons, but by an unyielding, fearless love. If ultimate divine wrath can be halted and demonic hearts can be melted by a single act of compassion, how powerful is the chanting of the holy name in transforming the darkest parts of our own lives? Think about the boundless nature of the forgiveness we just explored today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.